Hey Taters, what's up there, fam? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. And so I wanted to talk about Chris Rock actually slamming the Democrats by blaming them for the cuckoo coming in here via China. Now listen, I am not a current fan of Chris Rock. I used to be a fan when he had no problems telling edgy jokes, when he appeared in several movies. I believe he was more funnier when he had problems with his teeth. Like when I'm not gonna go into naming those movies, but anyway, I know about the old Chris Rock versus the new improved Chris Rock. I think I stopped being a fan of his when he apologized to the black community in reference to his most famous stand-up comedy show where he was talking about the Civil War in the black community, where he was like, there are black people and then there are N-words, and then the N-words fight against the black people, and that the N-words always mess it up for black people, which was so true. It's so true. But apparently the N-words in the black community had a problem with that, and therefore shamed him, or I guess they stopped inviting him to the cookout, so to speak. And he did a big apology and said he regret making that joke. He realized it was insensitive and blah, 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 blah. So when he did that, I didn't want to have anything to do with Chris Rock anymore. Plus, he's not funny anymore. It's something about him, Martin Lawrence, and Eddie Murphy. When they get to a certain age, they're not funny anymore. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's the money. When they make a lot of money, they don't get, funny anymore. The only one who seems to still keep their funny bone is Dave Chappelle. But he's a hit and miss sometimes too. It just depends on the day. But anyway, I want to go into this story that is just now breaking out today in reference to him going against the Democrats. So I just wanted to go and just read a little bit of this article, and let's see what he's really talking about. Now, what I don't want people to do is get all excited for the fact that Chris is going after the Democrats. Trust me, he's not going to be like Kanye. Thank God he isn't. And put on a red mega hat and be like, yeah, Trump 2020. He's not that way. I don't even think he's going to really get into the voting thing. But if he does, he's definitely going to vote for Biden all the way. Chris is a hardcore Democrat, and I don't see him basically coming to the Republican side. Contrary to what people believe and what people think about Chris Rock, he cares what the black community think as a whole. And as a big group together, they are not for Trump. However, Trump will get double digits of the black vote. He probably going to get 10. It's a good chance he's going to get 15, but he's not going to get like 90% of the black vote, but neither will the Democrats. So let's go ahead and read this for a second here. You let the pandemic in. Chris Rock blames Pelosi and Dems for the cuckoo spread because they were too busy trying to impeach Trump. Comedian Chris Rock has slammed Trump impeachment-obsessed Democrats leaders for letting COVID sneak into the country while they were busy trying to boot the president out of office. Chris Rock accused Democrats of trying to impeach Trump instead of focusing on the threat of the cuckoo entering the United States. In an interview with the New York Times published on Wednesday, Rock placed responsibility on Democratic leaders by comparing Trump to the 5-year-old emperor of China in the movie The Last Emperor. See, I told you guys. I told you. I told you he didn't like it. See, you know what? I didn't even proofread this article. There's the same article here in Breitbart. You know what I'm saying? I was going to use this article in Breitbart, but I was like, let me. I didn't like this picture, so I decided to go and get this one, and woo-wee. Lots of surprises. Anyway, he says, quote, there's a kid and he's the king. So I'm like, it's all the Democrats' fault. Because, the emperor was 5 years old. And when the emperor is 5 years old, they only lead in theory, Rock said. Quote, there's usually an adult who's like, okay, this is what we're really going to do. And it was totally up to Pelosi. Ooh, girl, you can't man, Pelosi been getting slammed this week. She can't catch a break. Anyway, and it was like totally up to Pelosi and the Democrats, he continued. Chris Rock concluded their thing was, we're going to get him impeached. That's right. That's all we kept hearing. Impeach 45. We're going to impeach 45. That's Maxine. That's Mad Maxine's imitation right there. And then Pelosi is like, yeah, we're going to definitely impeach him. Yeah, that's, yeah. They wasted all that time and all that money too. Anyway, we're going to get him impeached, which was never going to happen. You let the pandemic come in. Yes, we can blame Trump, but he's really the 5-year. But he's really the 5-year-old. Come on, dude. Come on, man. Dude, really, look, this right here, look, regardless if Chris Rock is blaming Pelosi, this right here is Trump derangement syndrome. It's just TDS. It's TDS all the way, baby. TDS all the way. Because I'm like, dude, really? What is it about Trump that makes you think he's a 5-year-old? And please don't tell me like he won't get off his Twitter. Okay? I know some straight up adults who don't get off their Twitter. Anyway, so let's see. What is here we go. Democrats, okay, let's look up a little bit. Here we go. Democrats were focused on impeaching Trump in January when the cuckoo came began spreading to China. Pelosi was shown on television ripping apart a copy of Trump's State of the Union address, which noted that the White House will take all necessary steps to safeguard our citizens from the cuckoo threat. Rock also criticized Trump, but to a lesser degree, saying that the country is in the current pandemic, saying that the country is in the current pandemic because Trump is a landlord? What? Wait a minute. No one has less compassion for humans than a landlord, and we're shocked he's not engaged. Wait a minute. See, this is, I told you, Chris Rock is a mixed bag. This made absolutely no sense. No one has less compassion for human beings than a landlord. Have you ever tried to go to the bank? Okay, do you think bank tellers or the managers of the bank have more compassion than landlords? Huh? What about the ones that own property? Hey, what about the judges who basically sign off on foreclosures? Huh? Do they have more sympathy than a landlord? See, here's the deal. This is what I don't like. This is what I don't like about not accepting accountability. If you don't pay your rent, what is the landlord supposed to do? Like, I'm going to be renting my home. Okay? I need the rent paid so that I can pay my mortgage. So you're saying that I should allow somebody to stay in here free? And listen, I know you say, well, they're going through hard times. We all go through hard times. But life goes on. Things have to happen. Bills have to be paid. And if somebody takes the time to trust you, well, it's not really blind trust. You do go and give a check on their, you do check their credit. You do check their rental history. You do check their references. But you don't sit up here and take their word. And if they're a good tenant, let's say, for instance, you have somebody that's been living with you, living underneath your home that you've been renting for 2 years and they never was late. And then all of a sudden they lost their job And it's like, listen, I just need 2 months. Can you just not, can you just let me stay here for 2 months? Absolutely. I would definitely do that. Because guess what? They have established a rapport with me, and I trust their reputation because they have never been late. I have never had any problems out of them. They have never vandalized the property. And so, yeah, there's times when they get in hard times. If they need 2 months, I'm going to give them 2 months. But what people do is they move into a rental property, and then basically they're late and they're late and they're late and they're late. And then they got half of the money 1 month. And then it's like, okay, can you give me the fees, and I'll pay the other half plus the other rent. And then, they got that. They got the late fees and the rent, but they don't have the other half of the money that they didn't pay the last time. And it's full drama. No, I don't have compassion for these people. They're irresponsible. They need to have accountability of mismanaging their money. And this is what I don't like. I don't like this about certain people in the any. Oh my goodness. This is such as if he has to worry about landlords. Like, really? Seriously? Anyway, to summarize, Rock said the Republicans tell outright lies. Oh, as if the Democrats don't tell outright lies. But the Democrats, here we go. But the Democrats leave out key pieces of the truth that would lead to more nuanced argument. Is that a nice way of saying that the Democrats lie too? Oh my goodness, are you serious? He just gets straight to the point. The Republicans lie. Then he goes, but the Democrats, well, the Democrats don't necessarily kind of lie. They just leave out key pieces of the truth that would lead to more nuanced arguments. You know what that's called? That's called telling telling lies. They may not be outright lies, but they're still lies nonetheless. And then he ends it up by saying it's all fake news. Oh, God. Woo! Chris, I knew I wasn't dealing with you before, but now I know I was on the right track. Rock, who stars in the show Fargo. Oh, he's still in movies and stuff? TV series? I had no idea. Also shared his view that racism is real and not going away. That is true. The order of events of the most racist race are Asians, then black folks. He said that Barack Obama becoming president was progress for whites, not black people. True. All right, but anyway, that's the take on. I knew it was gonna be not what I thought it was gonna be, and but I will say this: this does not look good for the Democrats to have Chris Rock come after them. It does show that the Democrats are losing it, and they are going to lose a lot of the black vote. And when you got black people, finally, this is something I have never seen before in a long time. I have never seen black people in large numbers criticize the Democratic Party and really go after the Democrats like this before. This is very new. This has never happened before, and it's pretty exciting. It's really good to see. But this doesn't look good for them at all, especially with them being called out by Chris Rock. So there you have it. Anywho, so I just wanted to basically give the story. I thought this was very interesting. What do you think about all of this? Do you agree with Chris Rock? Of course, I agree with him on 80% of what he said. But the other stuff, the landlords and the whole 5-year-old TDS syndrome that he's suffering from right now, that's something he can just go into the garbage can. But anyway, let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you all next time. Later, taters.